Today, I'm going to try and beat a Pokemon Violet hardcore Nuzlocke using only shiny Pokemon. But there's just one problem. I've never actually beaten a Pokemon Nuzlocke before. In my 2 previous Nuzlocke attempts on this channel, I crashed and burned in the Elite Four. And that is embarrassing. I mean, how can I consciously call myself a Pokemon YouTuber like this? So today, I'm going to try and redeem myself by beating a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Violet. But more than that, I'll be embarking on a grueling challenge known as the Shiny Badge Quest. This requires me to catch a shiny Pokemon after every Gym Leader, Titan Pokemon, and Team Star Boss, making for 18 badges and therefore 18 shiny Pokemon in total. So you're going to see a lot of shinies along the way. And to make things even harder on myself, I won't be using any herba mystica to boost my shiny odds, and the typings of my shinies will be decided by a simple spin of a wheel. Seriously though, this challenge was the craziest thing I've ever attempted on this channel and was months in the making, so I really hope you enjoy it. And without further ado, let's try and get my first ever Nuzlocke win. You know how I said I like to make things harder for myself? Well, we continued that trend by giving our rival Nemona the best starter in the game, Fuecoco. From there, you can thank me for sparing you from over 2 hours of unnecessary dialogue by liking and subscribing to the video, and we start our journey as we leave school and head out to the open world. Now then, how about we go catch ourselves a starter Pokemon? For that, we had to bring out the Wheel of Fate for the very first time, which determined that the exciting first typing of our starter would be a normal type. Wow. But to those of you thinking that's a boring start, I say, how dare you disrespect the normal type? It's actually a really good typing for utility, being the second typing of many different Pokemon. But as this was my starter Pokemon, I felt it was only fitting to catch a monotype, a simple, normal Pokemon. And I had the perfect starter in mind for that. Tandemaus may have one of the most subtle shinies out there, but it's also one of the most famous because it has a 1 in 100 chance of evolving into a family of 3 Mousehold, as opposed to its usual family of 4. Because of that, the odds of obtaining a shiny family of 3 Mousehold are 1 in 409,600, resulting in a pretty crazy hunt. But who knows, maybe we'll get lucky today with our single Tandemaus. Thankfully, it's a pretty common spawn outside the Elite Four, along with another normal type Igglybuff. So by shiny hunting here, I was either going to end up with one of my very favourite Pokemon from Gen 9, or a pink little devil baby. Either way, neither were going to be easy to spot or common to appear, as proven by the first shiny hunt taking 6 hours. But after all that time, the shiny finally appeared. Wait. Yes? No? Oh my god, we finally found it! Yes! I would not have spotted that if it wasn't for Quaxley refusing to attack. Let's go! Our starter Pokemon! Wah! Yeah, you scream it. Scream it to the heavens, Tandemaus. You're coming on the squad. Come on, get in the first ball. Get in the first ball. Wait, there's no critical jiggle because I haven't caught one before. This is a weird feeling, but we got it. Come on! Oh, have I got the perfect name for you. Oh, I can't believe after all this time, we finally caught our first Pokemon. I can start playing the game now. So we had finally found our first shiny, our starter Pokemon Gus the Tandemaus. And at this point, I should probably mention one final side quest I set myself while trying to beat this Nuzlocke. There are 18 boss battles we need to beat in this game. And as it happens, there's also 18 different types of Pokemon. So by the end of this challenge, I set myself a mission to try and catch a shiny of every Pokemon type in the game. Whether we actually complete that challenge or not will completely depend on the typings thrown out by the Wheel of Fate, so we'll have to see how that develops later down the line. But for now, 8 hours after booting up the game, we could finally begin our Nuzlocke. Now in most Nuzlockes, the first couple of gyms are pretty easy to get through. If you have a super effective move and a couple of team members, you're pretty much guaranteed a win. But in this challenge, I was going to be fighting an uphill battle from the start, as proven by the 1-on-3 challenge immediately set in front of us by the Bug-type gym leader, Katie. So while catching Tandemaus, I strategized carefully. Originally, I had the idea of teaching Gus Aerial Ace to sweep this gym with a super effective move, until I found out there was actually a better option, Echoed Voice. Although this rarely used move only has 40 base power, it gains an extra 40 power every turn it's used consecutively. And with the 50% power boost from Stab and another 50% boost from Terrestrializing, I'd built a Pokemon that was only going to get stronger every single turn. Although we took around 50% damage from a double kick, Nimble was 2-shot by Gus before Tarantula was 1-shot by a now 120 base power Echoed Voice. And from there was no chance her Ace Teddy Ursa could withstand a 160 base power. Wait, don't take it out? Oh god, I'm at half health. Oh god, no. Tandemaus, please no. Ah! Oh my god, no! Oh, my heart. Oh, I do not like this feeling. Oh, God. Yeah, so that went a little off script. But we made it through. There's nothing to see here. We didn't really have to reset the game and spend another 10 hours getting back here. Nope, I wasn't worried about that at all. So we claimed our first badge and it was straight back to shiny hunting for me. This time, the wheel did give us something special. Because honestly, what a time to get the fairy type already. And I had a late game monster that I didn't hesitate to seek out. Tinkaton was one of the shinies that I desperately wanted to add to my squad at some point during this challenge. It's another one of my favourite Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, and honestly the Fairy Steel typing is just incredible. Its pre-evolution Tinkaton can only be found in ruinous areas on the map, but luckily for me, there's some ruins right outside the first gym, so I can get hunting straight away. As it's the rare encounter in these areas, we did need to utilise sandwich powers to increase Tinkatink's spawn rate, so with a fairy type encounter sandwich put together, the hunt began. But it was at this point that I realised just how mammoth this challenge would be, and the game delivered me a true reality check. I didn't just make 1 or 2 sandwiches on this hunt, I made 12. Another 7 hours had now passed, and if you're doing the maths, at this rate this challenge was going to take me nearly 150 hours to complete. Assuming I'd run into a shiny Tinkatink soon, that is. But then, this happened. Oh. Huh? I see. That's not a fairy type. That's definitely not a fairy type. Okay. Oh, I'm kind of happy, I think. I think I'm happy. So I found a shiny. But as you can see, it was definitely not a fairy type. So Dug was sent in the box for now, potentially never to be seen again. Unless I could be blessed with a dark type shiny from the wheel later? Maybe? But either way, my hunt continued. I was seriously beginning to doubt if I could find the shiny. Had I missed one? Because this was not going to plan. And it was only after 3 days, 10 hours, and my 20th sandwich later that my persistence finally paid off. Oh, yes! Oh, yes, we got it! Oh, it's been days! I've been at this for days! Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm just running about. Tink-a-tink, yes! Oh, you're so hard to spot. Why am I going for the hardest shinies? Why can I not stop myself? Oh, I'm so happy to have you, though. I just need to catch you. And maybe I get in a matching heal ball. Oh, yes. God, I hate you, but I love you. But I hate you, but I love you. Say hello to Pee Pee Poo Poo. Named so lovingly for being the longest shiny hunt I have ever had the joy of putting myself through in Scarlet and Violet. So far. But for now, it was time for Pee Pee Poo Poo to justify her place on the team against the Titan Pokemon Klawf. Klawf? Klawf? You know what I mean. Klawf started off using Block, which was perfect because I wasn't planning on running anywhere. So, joke's on you, Mr. Crab. And with a Metal Claw hitting 20% damage, 3 hits later, we were in a strong position. But with Klawf's Anger Shell ability now activating, I was in for another heart attack moment. Vice Grip, okay. That's not a Rock Smash, that's fine. Oh! Bah! What the hell? This is a crit! Oh, I'm not losing 10 hours of effort in one shot. Oh my god, I got away with that. I can't stress enough how scary these fights are right now. Every attack that comes my way seemingly has a chance of nullifying the last 10 hours of my life that I put into these shiny Pokemon. And honestly, I was quickly finding out that I wasn't ready to feel that kind of pain. But maybe it's that gut-wrenching feeling that was missing. Maybe that's what I needed to bring the best out of me and win this Nuzlocke, as I refused to let any of these Pokemon fall easily. I was strategizing every single move I made. Luckily in phase 2 of the battle, this fight became easier as we had our good buddy Arven to help carry us through. This time, Klawf decided to target his shoulder literally every single turn, so Pee Pee Poo Poo could chip away once more with Metal Claw, and we claimed the soul of our first Titan Pokemon. And with that, our level cap also increased to 17. So after watching the start of the best storyline in the game, and feeding our pet bike a sandwich, like every normal child does, it was already wheel time! I really need some power now on the team. Klawf showed that. Yeah, I need some bulk. So what are we gonna get? We're gonna get a Steel type! I've already got a Tinkatink though. So yeah, Steel types are a great type to pick up. They're strong, they're bulky, and in this case, would resist our next gym leader's grass type moves too. So why wasn't I immediately happy? Well, let's go through the list of Scarlet and Violet Steel types, shall we? My first choice to shiny hunt was Varoom. It was the perfect counter to Brazius's grass types thanks to its secondary poison typing, so I said screw you to the game trying to block off my route to Lavencia and made my way to the mining area. And it's over the level cap. Huh. Well, what about Pawniard? Endgame King Gambit, available in Tag Tree Thicket, no, also over the level cap. Fine, let's go back earlier to the other side of Levincia. Magnemite, Electric Steel, surely that's under the level cap, oh my god, are you kidding me? You get the idea. As it turned out, aside from Tinkertink, who I already had, there's just one steel type in the game that can be caught under my current level cap. And that was Bronzor. Not the most exciting option, but hey, at least we can use it. And yet here's the kicker. Bronzor wasn't actually the Pokemon I ended up catching. And here's why. Going into this hunt, I left myself a whole weekend, Friday to Sunday, to find my next shiny and make some real progress with this Nuzlocke. But do you want to have a guess when this footage is from? That's right, it's from Friday. Sunday. This is from Sunday evening. And I was still here. I don't know what to say. Clearly this Ring Fit looking piece of garbage hates me because 3 days later, I had found nothing. Well, no steel types anyway. I did find 2 bonus shinies, if you can call them that. An Acne named Dum Dum on hour 14, and a Shinx named Min Min on hour 19. Are you kidding me? No! I mean, yes, but no! Where is this blooming Bronzor? Forgive me for not being completely happy and excited for finding these 2 beautiful shinies, but my mind was elsewhere. I was in shiny hunting hell, and somehow was now in a situation where I had more unusable shinies in my box than I did in my party. Yeah, this wasn't painful at all. So there I was, 11 PM on Sunday, curled up in a ball of disappointment, surrounded by nothing but the breadcrumb remains of my 46 steel-type sandwiches I'd made. By now, I'd perfected the art of balancing eggs on top of each other, but that wasn't what I came here for. So just before I disappointedly made my way to bed for the 3rd night in a row, I thought, let's try something different. I made my way back to the mines by Levincia to spend one final hour shiny hunting before calling it a night. There's 2 common spawns in this area, Varoom and Cufant, and even though both of those were over my level cap, at this point, I'd take anything. I just needed someone, anyone to save me from this nightmare of a hunt. 1 sandwich down, no luck. But then, 15 minutes into my 2nd and final sandwich of the weekend, guess what happened? Oh, yes! Yes! Come on! Yes! Oh my god, I'm so tired! Oh, Cufant, you saved me, you're my savior! Oh, that hunt took too long. Please stay in the ball, thank you! Thank you so much. Oh, I want to cry. I'm too tired. I'm going to bed. You guys have no idea of the weight I felt lift off my shoulders. Cufant was nicknamed Tai-Tai, short for thank you, as I now felt like I owed this little elephant my life. And personally, I never want to see a Bronzor ever again. Obviously, we couldn't use Tai-Tai for the next gym, being over level 17, but I bet you're as relieved as I was when I say, let's get back to the Nuzlocke now, shall we? Zeus was not ready for the strategy I'd been cooking up for the last 3 days. It was simple really. Step 1, collect Tenson Flora, who don't seem to understand the concept of hide and seek. And step 2, hear me out, have you heard of the move Echoed Voice? Petlil survived 2 Echoed Voices and put us in a slightly sticky situation with Mega Drain, but as a 3rd Echoed Voice finished it off, Gus now had a 160 base power Echoed Voice lined up to absolutely batter the incoming Smoliv, which just left Razus's Ace Sudowoodo. Now though, I had to be careful. Although Gus was ready to unleash a 200 base power Echoed Voice, it couldn't one-shot Sudowoodo no matter what, as it has the ability Sturdy. So it was time for Pee Pee Poo Poo to hit the field. I may joke about being a mastermind battler, but honestly, I was proud of this one. You'll see I taught my hammer-wielding friend a bonkers moveset of Thunderwave, Rest, Baby Doll Eyes, and Pounce, but this was designed specifically for the fake tree in mind. Immediately we ate up a Trail Blaze and used Baby Doll Eyes to weaken Sudowoodo's attack to -3. Then we rested up to play around a critical hit, munched on a delicious Chesto Berry to wake up immediately, continued to use Baby Doll Eyes to weaken Sudowoodo to -6 attack, and paralyzed it with Thunder Wave. And from there, all we had to do was bide our time and pounce on the Sudowoodo until finally we achieved victory. Sweet, sweet victory. GG, now give me my badge, old man. It's time for another wheel spin. This time out, a rock-type shiny was thrown our way by the wheel, so I started checking out the available rock types in the game we could add to the squad. Until I realised we already had one. Oh wait, I've already got a rock type. I've got a Knackley. Yes, Dum Dum, Dum Dum, Dum Dum comes on the squad. Oh, that saves me a shiny hunt. And you know what? I kind of need that after the last one. So I threw Dum Dum in my backpack and rode all the way back across Paldea to our next boss battle against an oversized bird. I can't lie, as Dum Dum was a super effective rock type, I threw him straight in the deep end to see what he was made of. And that was very nearly the last time I saw him. Oh! Oh no, not again! Not again! Why are all my Pokemon always dying? Oh my god, what is going on? We live on 1, are you joking? Am I stupid? Lucky? Stupidly lucky? Who knows at this point, but luckily for me, Dum Dum didn't leave the squad as quickly as he joined it. But while I was ready to heal up for phase 2, I learned that there isn't actually a break between phases in this fight. Don't tell me I have to fight straight away again. Arven, please say there's a gap. There's normally a gap, right? Where's the gap? Why is there no gap for this one? There's gaps for every other one. Why am I back to back against Bombardier?
I'm in danger.
But no, I wasn't in danger after all, as I remembered that everything in the game hates Arven. So I switched into Gus Gus, watched as Arven was bullied by yet another Titan, and finished phase 2 with a couple of Super Fangs and Echoed Voices. Nice! So after Miraidon inhaled another sandwich, the Wheel of Fate decided that our next task would be to pick up a Fire-type shiny. This was a hunt I was especially excited for because there really aren't many fire types in this game, and at this point I needed to add an early game powerhouse to help me through one of the toughest sections of the game. Back-to-back battles against Nemona and the infamous Nuzlocke killer Iona. With a Firestone already in my bag and a Growlithe outbreak spawning by Levincia, it was now possible for me to get an Arcanine on the squad by Gym 3. And so utilising the mass outbreaks and murdering half the Growlithe population, we found one of my most valuable team members of this run. Oh, hey, let's go! Look at this little boy! That actually wasn't too bad. The chosen one. Oh, he looks so good. Who doesn't love Arcanine? He's just the perfect Pokemon. And now you want to stay in the ball for me? Yeah, you do. Oh, this is going to be so good to have on the squad. Bao Bao was already the strongest Pokemon on our team, and going into the Nemona rival battle, we had actually jumped from 3 team members to 5, as with a level cap increase, Tai could join the squad too. And with a little grinding and battle prep, this battle took a turn. Strangely, for the better, because turns out we demolished Nemona. Pee Poo Poo took care of Rockruff with 2 Metal Claws before surviving a dig from Pawmi, and beyond that, well, Pawmi just kept spamming charge against me, over and over again. So, I took the opportunity to weaken it to -5 attack with Baby Doll Eyes, switch into Bao Bao, set up to +3 with Howl, and, well, extreme speed to victory. Simple as that. And you can tell Nemona was impressed because, I mean, check out the flirtatious look she gave me. Back off, Nemona! I'm only 10 years old, you freak! And with the gym trainers also being a bit of a walkover, how about we skip straight to the showdown with Iona? After you, like and subscribe, of course, because, I mean, you wouldn't want to upset your favourite streamer now, would you? Dum Dum, our newly evolved Knuckle Stack, walled Iona's Watchful, but seeing how much her incoming Bellybolt did with its special attacking moves, I had no choice but to switch in Tai, marking the first appearance of my Nuzlocke Saber in this run, and, incidentally, one of the last, because after dealing shockingly bad damage with a Bulldoze, I was made aware of just how fragile she really was. So her debut ended quickly, and I threw out the big red button. Bao Bao hit the field, and thankfully, Bellybolt didn't use Water Gun and also failed to paralyze us with a Spark. So I could terrestrialize and finish it off with a Flamethrower before also one-shotting Iona's Luxio the following turn. That was super important for us this battle because I needed Bao Bao as fresh as he could possibly be for Iona's ace, Miss Magius, the Pokemon with no weaknesses. First came Confuse Ray, which gave us the worst start possible as Bao Bao immediately smacked himself in the face. But turn 2, he redeemed himself, as even though we were completely and utterly discombobulated, he managed to dodge an incoming Charge Beam, snap out of the confusion, hit Miss Magius with a huge Flare Blitz, and come through with an absolutely clutch burn. Without Bao Bao, I dread to think how many Pokemon we might have lost in this battle. But from there, after losing her Ghost typing, Miss Magius had no defense against Bao Bao's extreme speed, and the final ounce of burn damage was enough to bring us through our most difficult test yet. We have actually done it! We actually made it through! I can't believe we've just got through that without losing anyone. That is insane. With all the paralysis and confusion, that battle can spiral out of control so easily, but we managed to make it through unscathed. And with that, I'd now been playing this game for 60 hours already, and yet all I've accomplished is getting 3 badges and the souls of 2 Titan Pokemon. Oh yeah, we've still got a lot of ground to cover. So for now, you join me in an exciting moment as for the first time ever, I'm about to get a full team of 6 Pokemon. Can you believe it? And do you know what came out of our 6th wheel spin? It was a flying type. So things were really starting to look up for us because this is another incredible typing to get in this format. The flying type is the secondary typing of so many Pokemon, but considering our upcoming opponents, there was one who stood out above them all. Gyarados. So, with a Magikarp outbreak occurring right outside my house, I flew home to say hi to my mum, showed her off my off-coloured Pokemon who I definitely hadn't skipped any school for to collect. What did you say? And I quickly jumped off the nearby cliff. In most cases, mass outbreaks were making shiny hunting a lot quicker now, but not for this one. At this point, I realized I still hadn't caught a Pokemon who can fly or swim yet, which sucked, because that meant I had to wait patiently for some Magikarp to be dumb enough to strand themselves on one tiny island so that I could rack up 60 KOs and improve my shiny odds. But finally, after 45 minutes of doing that, I could swim around and wait for the golden goose to appear. Or in this case, the golden fish. Yeah? I'm sorry. Oh, what's that shimmer I see? You're not ready, you little shiny boy. Yes, that wasn't too long. Magikarp is such an iconic shiny. I'm so happy with this. Oh, you're going to be so good on the squad. Name a more iconic duo than shiny Magikarp and shiny Gyarados. I dare you. Blub Blub. Your name is Blub Blub. Yes, I might be running out of nicknames already. Anyway, there's one more thing I should probably confess to you guys here. A little mulligan, because it turns out, unlike Gyarados, Magikarp isn't actually a flying type. And I can't believe I didn't know that. But to save myself another 6 hours of shiny hunting, I'm going to quickly brush to the sides and distract you from ridiculing me in the comments because, hey, look! Some of our team has made babies! Oh, Gus! Gus has made baby! Okay. But the question is, has he made more than one? Have we hit those 1 in 409,600 shiny odds? No, well, okay, it was worth a shot. But could you imagine if we did? Now that would have been hype. Anyway, after updating Gus's nickname, there we go. Much better. For the first time in this game, we'd done it. We had a full team of 6 Pokemon. And in fact, this is the first time I've ever battled with a full shiny team in my life. And I had real pride in this squad. These Pokemon had taken me on average nearly 10 hours each to catch. But come on, for this, totally worth it. And now it was finally time for our first encounter with Team Star. But not just one boss, it was time to battle 2 of their bosses back to back. However, thanks to our team choices so far, we pretty much destroyed them. Giacomo, the amateur SoundCloud rapper, had no answer for a couple of draining kisses from Pee Pee Poo Poo, and with a brand new flying type in Gyarados, Mela only really caused issues when we got to a Bossmobile. These things were my nemesis through this playthrough, but realizing that I now had 2 Intimidate users on the squad in Blub Blub and Bow Bow, I could switch between them to reduce Mela's vehicle all the way down to -6 attack, taking it out with relative ease. You could say that at this point we were motoring through the story. Oh god, I gotta stop this. So let's instead flash back, not to see Team Star's teenage drama stories, but to catch up with 2 more shiny hunts. The wheel was again pretty kind to us here, gifting us a fighting type and a huge dragon type. First up, I had my eyes set on a Pokemon all the way back from Gen 1, who'd been given an insane new evolution in these games, Mankey. This would massively help me towards that little side quest I have going on, which is to catch a shiny of every type of Pokemon before I reach the champion. So far, from 6 shiny Pokemon, we'd only managed to complete 7 different typings. But with Mankey able to evolve into Annihilate in Gen 9, we could tick off 2 more typings later down the line with this shiny thanks to it gaining the elusive Ghost typing. So it felt like a perfect fit for the team. You? Shiny? Shiny Mankey! Shiny Mankey! Oh, are you insane? That is so hard to spot. How is that so pale? Oh, I seriously might have missed one of those before. I was looking for something way greener than that. But what about the Dragon type for shiny Pokemon number 8? Well, for this one, I actually chose to repeat a shiny hunt that was one of the first I ever completed on this channel. In the caves right next to our upcoming boss battle, there's a spot that I personally found to be one of the funniest places to shiny hunt in this game. No mass outbreaks needed this time, I simply cooked up a dragon type encounter sandwich and waited for the caves to poop out my next victim. Look at these guys. Look at these dudes. This will never get old. Oh, shiny Bagon! Let's go! How long was that? What, like 10 sandwiches this time? That's not bad. And an easy spot, which is always appreciated after that Mankey hunt. Let's go. Thank you very much, buddy. We shall name you Gigi. Thanks to the level cap, we were still unable to evolve these guys to their full potential, so Man and GG were left in the box for now. But as the pace of this story was starting to ramp up, we took on our third Titan Pokemon. It was a very quick hello and goodbye here, as Blub turned MVP once again to defeat Phase 1 of Orthworm using 3 waterfalls, before double intimidation tactics once again saw us through Phase 2, while Arven was bullied for the 3rd time by the Titan Pokemon. We celebrated by shoving some lettuce down Miraidon's throat once more before good news! The Wheel of Fate rolled us an electric type. Remember that nightmare Bronzor hunt I had before Gym 2? Well, during that hunt we found an electric type in Min the Shinx, so I can now grab her from the box, add her to the team, and continue on with the story. Not only was that another Pokemon type ticked off our list, but after evolving Min into a final form Luxray, it crucially gave us another Intimidate user for our next fight against Kofu and his team of physical attacking water types. Given my team, I thought this was going to be another easy fight, until I remembered that Kofu had the Devil in Disguise on his squad. Before we got to it, Min obliterated Kofu's Blueser in a one-shot Thunderfang, but then there it was, hitting the field as Pokemon number 2, the absolute abomination of a Pokemon, Wugtrio. Last time I faced this in a Nuzlocke, it used Headbutt to flinch me not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row, and it made me lose a Pokemon in the process. But surely that was just bad luck, right? There's no way that could happen again. So it happened again. What is wrong with this Pokemon? It's an absolute cheat code! So now with Min on her last legs, I started to use some intimidation switching tactics with Bow and Blub to eventually lower this thing's attack to -5 and prevent this from turning into another catastrophe. And of course now that was done, Wugtrio went ahead and flinched me again, the damn little So to further prevent it chipping away at my team, I had Pee come in to set up a Reflect, and luckily for me the Sandstorm stays up all battle long in this fight, so I simply had to watch as the devil of all Pokemon finally died from getting sand in its eyes one too many times. And to that, I say good riddance. Now then, Crabominable time. This was now a little scary with my team on such little health after Wugtrio's chip damage, but as another physical attacker, it had nothing to stop me intimidating it to -2 attack before letting Blub crunch away and finally end this ordeal and claim our 4th gym badge. And breathe. Halfway there now, and overall things were going well. Can you believe we were still yet to lose a Pokemon in this run? Because I couldn't, so I'm interested. How many Pokemon do you think I'm going to lose on this run? Because there have been very many near-death scenarios we've hit, and somehow I'm still here, unscathed, no deaths. How is this happening? Back to the Wheel of Fate, it was time to hunt for another Steel-type shiny. Oh god, I'm trying to put that thing out of my head, Wheel. Why'd you keep reminding me? Luckily, there were far more Steel types open to us now, so I didn't have to give myself severe PTSD and complete another 20-hour hunt. Instead, I could go for one of the cooler new Pokemon of this generation, Orthworm. I wasn't sure about hunting this Pokemon because I knew it was one of those that could run away from you in the overworld and dig underground, and I wasn't sure if that still applied to the shiny form or not. That would be a crushing way to fail a shiny. My only saving grace was that it had a very obvious blue shiny form, so I could at least relax a little during the hunt knowing that it wouldn't be too hard of a Pokemon to spot. Oh my god. Oh my god. No shot. You are kidding me! I have just turned up here. Yes! So that was probably the fastest shiny hunt I have, or probably ever will complete in my life. We named her Jiggle because, I don't know, worms wiggle wiggle, but I had that TikTok song from last year stuck in my head, and that's how long ago we were recording this. But up next was our 3rd team star boss, Atticus, and with a 3rd steel type on the team, we could negate his poison type moves, and therefore this went pretty smoothly. Once again, my only concern was that Revavroom Bossmobile, which this time took a combination of Blub, Bow, Pee and Gus to bring us through, but after 2 terrestrialized Hyper Voices, it was efficiently dealt with, once again, with no losses along the way. Like I said, these Bossmobiles are no joke, and were probably the hardest fights I had to consistently navigate through in this run. And with that fresh in my mind, and having rolled yet another Steel type from the wheel, apparently this game wants me to become the Steel type gym leader, I thought why not catch one myself. So I found an Outbreak of Room and got to work. Yes, there we go! Oh, we're on a roll, guys. Shiny Revavroom. This is a cool shiny, I'm a big fan of you. Even though I think your design concept is pretty goofy. As you can probably tell from our recent experiences, these hunts were going pretty quickly now. And just 4 hours of hunting was all it needed this time to make the golden engine appear. For now, I had to box Brum as it wouldn't be able to evolve without getting over our new level cap of 36. So instead I trained the rest of my squad up so that it was ready to fight the frightening teams next up on our list. We'd already beaten the back-to-back Nuzlocke endo of Nemona and Iona, but next up was the 5th gym, which was arguably an even scarier proposition to face. Not only do you have to fight Larry, but you're then swept straight into another rival fight against Nemona. No saving the game, no accessing your box. If you lose a Pokemon in the Larry fight, you're carrying a dead body into the fight against Nemona. So we had no room for error here. And with that, I took on the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Anyway, my boss would duck my pay if I spent too much time chit-chatting. Let's get this battle over with. God, I love you.
Kamal was a bit of a pain in the butt as it just tried to yawn us to death. Meanwhile, I attempted to reach max defense and speed with Dum Dum by using Iron Defense and Rock Polish before trying to sweep with a Rock Slide. For Kamala, that worked great, but as the Dunsparce came in, I encountered a problem. Maybe I should be called Dum Dum instead of Knucklestack, because with Rock Slide dealing minimal damage and having no other attacking moves, I ran out of PP. Yes, I know, my genius knows no bounds. Lucky for me, we could once again take advantage of a critical flaw of the NPCs in this game: physical attackers. A little Intimidate switching between Blub and Min Min took Staraptor's attack down to -4, giving us free reign to end the battle with our newest addition to the squad, Man. That's right, before this gym battle I bullied some early route Pokemon with Rage Fist to evolve my Mankey all the way into a beautiful shiny Annihilate. That's the ghost typing ticked off, and with Staraptor's crippled attack stat, not even an aerial ace could harm us. So 2 low sweeps later, we successfully beat the 5th gym and got pulled straight into a rival battle against Nemona, still at full strength. Incidentally, the reason I led with Knucklestack for Larry was so that we could also wall Nemona's lead Pokemon. And starting in the same fashion, Dum Dum managed to best Lycan Rock with a couple of Rock Slides. With Goomy coming in next though, I knew it had a Water Pulse with our name on it. So I switched into Blub to resist and comfortably one-shot it the next turn with Ice Fang. Min then managed to win the battle of the electric types by biting the Pormo to death. And finally, we reached the end of the Pokemon Gauntlet and the scariest Pokemon yet, Skeledirge. I had to prepare for this one as Torch Song is one of the most broken moves in this game, raising Skeledirge's special attack stat every turn it is used, and therefore giving Nemona the power to potentially sweep my team. So during the Pormo battle, I had Min set up a light screen to reduce special attack damage, letting me now comfortably switch back into Blub, and with 2 terrestrialized waterfalls, I could end the grueling back-to-back battles against Larry and Nemona and come out on top without a single Pokemon lost. Be honest, I know some of you saw me losing a Pokemon or 2 there, but no, at this point in the Nuzlocke, my confidence was growing sky high, to such high levels that I was even contemplating if I could make it through this entire Nuzlocke deathless. But yeah, that might be a little premature because we had some crazy strong trainers left to battle. So I quickly spanned the next wheel before I got caught up in those thoughts, became cocky, and stupidly lost the Pokemon. And hey look, a Dark-type! You know what that means.
Wait, Dark-type? Oh, Master Chief! I can finally add you to the squad! Yes! No more wasted shiny swatting away in the box. Come on! Look at this is beautiful.
Dug was immediately leveled up and added to the team, because as if it was fate, I now had a Dark type to help me through the next Ghost type gym, and a brand new test, Double Battles. That meant nothing to us though, as we now had true anime plot armor on our side, with me and my team having spent nearly 130 hours together at this point. A simple combo of Dug and Pee Poo Poo was enough to see off all the gym trainers, and Ryme was, well, she was actually even easier, because the constant staging boosts increasing my stats just turned this into a walkover. So a couple of punches later, we stole our 6th gym badge, and look how quickly we're running through this game now. I was very happy with my team at this point. My side quest to obtain a Pokemon of every single typing now had the unintentional benefit of giving me incredible team coverage, which I guess I should have seen coming, but I didn't. And now I was simply looking for upgrades. So with an electric type coming out, I decided not to hunt down a new type this time round, and instead went in search of a Volt Absorb Pokemon to truly give me immunity to electric types. All I had to do was find a Pormo with the correct ability.
Oh, well, that's quite an obvious one. That's quite an obvious little pink mouse. Ah, Pormo! Look at that adorable little face. Oh, and it does have Volt Absorb. Yes! Luck's on my side in this Nuzlocke, I am telling you. Look at us go!
It honestly felt like we were steamrolling through the challenge now. Nothing could stop me and my team of multicolored abnormalities. I even tried headbutting the next Titan Pokemon to take it out, but that didn't quite work, so instead I had to settle for Blub handling the situation with a couple of easy one-on-ones. Because yes, Alvin was still being bullied by these Titan Pokemon.
And after feeding our bikes some drugs, we can fly now.
They fly now? They fly now!
That opens up a bit more of the map to find our next shiny in, and you'll never guess what the wheel gave us. That's right, it's another steel type! That's our 5th one of the run game! It's as if the wheel's trying to give me a sign. Or a healthy dose of trauma. But I wasn't keen on that second option, so I opted to hunt down a Pawniard instead. And now that the bamboo forest was open to us, it was a Pokemon I could relatively easily spawn in. No mass outbreaks this time, just vibes and a level 1 steel type encounter sandwich. That made the hunt a little longer again, but at this point in the video, I won't make you suffer through these with me. And instead just know that a day or so of hunting later, but we got to add another truly endgame Pokemon onto the team, and one of the best looking shinies in the game. Pawniard! Yes!
Oh, I've just been mumbling to myself all the time. I've lost my head. Why am I still doing this? Why am I making these hunts longer than they need to be? I don't need to do this at this point. Oh no, I'm leaving the wrong Pokemon. Why do I need to switch Pokemon to make picnics? This stupid mechanic. We definitely make sure it doesn't despawn. It hasn't despawned. Quick, get a Pokemon. Get a Pokemon in. Get a Pokemon. 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 That'll do. Where is he? No! Stop running away! Get back here! Oh! You stay with me, buddy. Don't you dare! Oh god, that's hurting. I reckon I'll just try and get it in the yellow, and then hopefully try and start catching it. Night Slash. Ah! Jingle! How did I survive that? That wasn't even the friendship mechanics. Oh my god! I might just start throwing balls. I don't think I can be picky here. Stay in that ball. Come on. Come on, you want to be on the squad. Yes, you want to be on the squad! Yes!
Once again, Sickle had to wait in the box until our level cap increased, but I was willing to be patient, because this guy was going to be OP when it becomes a King Gambit. And up next, I was feeling experimental. Technically, we were meant to head across to our 7th gym battle at this point to face the Psychic Gym Leader Tulip. But seeing as we had 2 gyms, 2 Team Star Bosses and a Titan left before the Elite Four, I thought, why not have some fun and forge our own path through the rest of the game? Just like Pokemon claims you can do. But turns out, that's a bad idea. I stormed into Ortega's Fairy-type base with a team of low-level 40s, and had a pretty big shock when I found out I was taking on, level 50s. Oh boy, what a way this would be to lose my first Pokemon. I led with Pee-Pee-Poo-Poo to protect my team with a Reflect, before finding out just how little a 160 base power Gigaton Hammer did. Turns out, it does nothing at all. So I switched out into Brum, our newly evolved Revavoom for the very first time, because I felt my only hope in this battle was to set up a shift gear and try to sweep. However, I was stopped in my tracks straight away with Ortega's Azumarill spamming Charm against me, leaving me with less attack than I started with. So I switched out and tried again. This time I cut my losses, and after managing to get 1 shift gear off without being charmed, a Poison Jab was enough to get rid of Azumarill. That's 1 Pokemon down, but still 3 to go. In Dash Bun, I saw this as an opportunity to continue setting up in an attempt to sweep, but after 1 shift gear, it hit me with a Mud Slap. I haven't had to deal with many accuracy or evasiveness strats this Nuzlocke, but as we all know, they are the most annoying thing in Pokemon. Bar nothing. And now with every attack, I would have the gut-wrenching feeling that I was about to miss and potentially lose my newest shiny. Thankfully though, I landed my terrestrialized Iron Head the next turn, and we managed to one-shot the Pastry Poodle, ensuring no more accuracy drops before the next Pokemon. But that's when Wigglytuff came out, and disaster struck.
I missed. Brum misses. No! No! I can't believe we're gonna lose this now! Oh, we're so close to death! Wait, what? Oh my god, we lived! We actually lived? Are you kidding? How? Brum! Oh, how did I get away with that?
A not very effective body slam barely let Brum survive, and our deathless run lived on for now, as I instantly switched out to Pee-Pee-Poo-Poo to fake out and set up another Reflect. With a Gigaton Hammer thankfully one-shotting, all that remained was my arch nemesis of this Nuzlocke, the Team Star Bossmobile. And you might get tired of me saying this by now, but my tried and tested intimidation tactics prevailed once again. Swapping into Min, I could Volt Switch out into Blood for some chip damage, and with a Bossmobile now at -2 attack, Blood managed to set up 2 Dragon Dances, break through Ortega's confusion strategies, the second most annoying thing in Pokemon, and wear down the truck until finally, 4 waterfalls later, my panic was over. And you got that right, I am never entering a battle underleveled ever again.
And now, 150 hours of shiny hunting later, it's finally time to progress into the final chapter of our story and attempt to beat this hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Violet without a single death. Or at least that's what I hope is going to happen. Let's find out. So, I'm going to start this next part off with a confession. After nearly losing my first Pokemon to a posh kid with severe daddy issues, I forgot about the quest I set myself to catch a shiny of every type of Pokemon. So as the Wheel of Fate ordered me to go and catch a normal type, I set my sights on a bus. After hunting down a shiny family of 3 Mousehold for my starter Pokemon, and failing, this time out I wanted to see if I could catch their partner in crime, the Dunsparce. That's right, as you all know, Dunsparce can now evolve into either its common 2-segment form, or the 1 in 100 chance 3-segment form. This matches Mousehold's family of 3 shiny odds of 1 in 409,600, and luckily for me, the vibrant pink shiny form of this drill blobby thing is a lot easier to spot than our earlier Tandem Mouse. Oh, there it is!
Pink boy, look at you hopping along. Get back here. Yes, we got the bus. Bus. Let's go. I name you La Bussy Bus. No. Oh, it's tempting, but no. You are Bus. And he gets along so well with Mousehold. Look at these guys.
But could we beat the odds and evolve Bus into its 3-segment shiny form? No, we could not. But could you imagine if we did? And after all that running around for a whale with wings, we arrived in Alphanarda with enough steps on our Fitbit to let Momo evolve into Pawmot. All in time for one final rival battle against Nemona. And he was a crucial key to the problem. Why? Well, to put it simply, Jiggle dealt with Lycanroc before Momo now outclassed its inferior, non-shiny rival Pawmot. Ha! You peasant! And then Pee Poo Poo played a little too rough with Sliggoo, and her ace Skeledirge couldn't handle Blub's waterfalls of love. So, yeah, job done. Nemona took no lives from us today. Or, well, yet. So how about we celebrate with some exercise? Why does this exist? Anyhow, with that cringe fest dealt with, Tulip's battle began, and started off just about as bad as it could have done, as I discovered that Fake Out doesn't work against Farigiraf. In fact, no priority moves do, which is an obscure piece of Pokemon knowledge that I'm now never going to forget. But aside from that, we've recovered to absolutely whitewash Tulip, as Dog, our Mastiff, essentially couldn't be touched by the giraffe with a space helmet. So we set up 3 Home Claws and destroyed Neil Armstrong and his friends, and yeah, I really didn't spend too long in this city. It was quite the pump and dump. No. Oh, I can't say that. Yeah, it was a quick visit. We'll leave it there. With my mind at ease again, I finally remembered we still had 5 shiny Pokemon types to catch, because the wheel dropped one that I was missing right in my lap. And with this, I also worked out a way to grab another common type we'd somehow not obtained yet, the grass type. Toadschool, this weird little alien, has a crazy unique shiny and was a Pokemon that I have never used before, so I was really excited to finally get one for myself. Oh, there it is! What was that, 30 minutes? That was rapid! Ew, look at this thing! It's such a little freak. I love it. Thank you, stay in that ball. Freaky child. You need a special nickname. I can't give you something normal, can I? Bob. I know the nickname breaks the trend, but yeah, just Bob, okay? Bob. And with Bob immediately boxed for the upcoming Ice-type gym, I made my way to the top of Glaciodo Mountain for the final test. The toughest and biggest battle of them all. Just kidding. I don't know if you noticed, but I have caught many Steel types this run, so my team is built for taking on Ice types. So, yeah. I made an absolute mockery of Grusha and ended up claiming my final 2 gym badges in very anticlimactic fashion. Come on, guys. Where's the challenge? The viewers want to be entertained here. Grusha? Why are you looking at me like that?
I curse thee and your brutish steel type.
So Grusha wasn't very happy with that comment and put a curse on my game as I entered my next shiny hunt. The wheel rolled as a fairy type, so when a full-on Gardevoir outbreak showed up on the map, how could I turn that opportunity down? Especially as it would also give me one of the 3 remaining shiny types I now needed. So I flew straight across to its location and, where are the Pokemon?
I curse thee!
Yes, Grusha had made it so that no Pokemon was showing up, and I was seriously worried about how many bugs were appearing in my game now. Something I didn't show you from the Dunsparce hunt was my map absolutely freaking out at one point. Like, I have never seen this happen before. And now just 2 shinies later, Pokemon have literally stopped spawning in altogether. Guys, I think my game is melting. I've been shiny hunting too long. It doesn't like it. It wasn't built for this kind of punishment. But that didn't stop me, as after quickly resetting, I got one of the internet's most popular Pokemon since Vaporeon to finally start appearing, and found my mark just over an hour later. Oh, hey, there we go! Appearing as I run towards the camera, finally! Oh, God, was a beautiful shiny. Nice. Honestly, I don't know why this felt like the most appropriate name for a male Gardevoir at the time, but I kind of regret it now I'm rewatching this, and I can't change it. So let's swiftly change the subject, because I started grinding for my next boss fight, and then, well, this happened. Oh! You're joking. Another one? Why are these things attracted to me? Something else you should probably know about me. Teddiursa was the first shiny I found in Scarlet and Violet. It happened in my main playthrough after fighting Brazius as a random encounter, and then it happened again when I was looking for a shiny Kamala, and then again, and again. So I think this is the 5th shiny Teddiursa I've accidentally stumbled across in this game now. Which is a very random coincidence. I don't know, maybe bears attract bears. But I mean, Kamala is right there, like, come on. Anyway, I couldn't use it even if I wanted to, unless we managed to roll another normal type in our last 4 wheel spins. So, no! So much for not having wasted potential in the box, I guess. I got over my disappointment quickly enough, though, with my shiny Pawniard finally being able to evolve into a Kingambit, which I think we all agree is the coolest looking Pokemon to come out of this game. And I added it straight to the squad for our next challenge against a fish. I mean, we do need a sharp knife to make ourselves some sushi, right? Wait, did Tatsugiri get eaten in the Pokemon universe? Is that a thing? I mean, they literally pose as sushi and everything, right? So, oh my god, this lump stole my dinner! This Titan is special as it's a 3-part fight. The Donzo in Stage 1 was no problem at all, as a quick Thunderfang and Volt Switch let Min Min claim victory. And in Stage 2, it was quite a bit stronger, but with it hating Arven just as much as the rest of the Titans in this playthrough, we got through Stage 2 unharmed as well. That only left the true Titan Pokemon Tatsugiri, who pro-played me by stopping me from using Light Screen with an immediate taunt before outrageously trying to attack me! Oh my... Min Min! Did that little sushi stick just attack me instead of Arven? How dare you! Who do you think you are? Luckily, we were safely carried through the rest of the battle as Arven repaid his debt to us, landing a critical hit that essentially won us the fight in a single turn. Maybe that's why the other Titans attacked him so much, because they knew he was the true threat here and not me. Oh man, I wasn't ready for that reality check. But with that, we had now also beaten every Titan Pokemon in the game. We saved our last sandwich and enjoyed the adorable conclusion to Arven's storyline and his pathetic non-shiny Mabastiff. Get on my level, you scrub. And now just a single battle remained between us and the Elite Four. Ares fighting type Team Starbase awaited. Ah, but silly me. 17 badges in and I'm forgetting the exciting part. The shinies. Look, it's been a long journey, okay? I need a holiday. Speaking of which, maybe my character does too. Kitakami was now available to us, and with a ghost type wheel rolled, I thought, heck, why not? We've already attempted 2 extremely rare shiny hunts, why not make it a hat trick? After hunting around for a while, I eventually found myself a mass outbreak of Poltergeist. There are, of course, 2 forms of this Pokemon that exist. The common, unremarkable form that we don't care about, and the rare, remarkable form whose odds are 1 in 100 to find. So with the best mass outbreak odds achieved, I tried my luck one final time to grab a 1 in 409,600 odds shiny Pokemon. Is that one? No. It can't. Oh my god. Oh my god, you are kidding me. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. What? Why are you so hard to spot? Oh, I hate subtle shinies. Is it remarkable or is it... Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Mocha. Oh, who am I kidding? I would have been insanely lucky to have any of those rare hunts go my way. So I was still really happy to find Mocha because have you seen how subtle this shiny Pokemon is? My eyes are still burning from trying to spot it. But I trained up and evolved Mocha straight away because it had a very important part to play in claiming my final badge. As did Gigi, our newly evolved Salamence, because I could take no risks while trying to disband Team Star and needed all of the help that I could get. First up, I immediately led with Gigi to 2-shot Toxicroak with Air Slash, but after taking big damage from Sucker Punch along the way, I had to switch into Blood Blub as Ares' Scary Annihilate came in. Look at it. Scary. Not like our cute little shiny man. Ah, look at you. Adorable. After that, we safely switched into, Hubba. Oh god, sorry. For his debut, to resist the close combat and remove a big threat from the field thanks to a 4 times effective Moonblast. 2 down, 3 to go. For Passimian, I wasn't confident in Gardevoir's physical defenses, so it was time for another debut, Mocha. And this is a broken little teacup, if you pardon the pun. Using Strength Sap, I reduced Persimmon's attack to -3, all while safely healing myself up every turn, before finishing it off with Sinistra's signature move, Matcha Gotcha. Again, healing myself up to essentially full health. And like I said, this is a broken little guy. He is insane. Being a Ghost-type Pokemon though, I couldn't risk it further if Evi's Lucario knew Dark Pulse. So this time I switched into Pee Pee Poo Poo to Draining Kiss and safely stall it out. And after all of that work, we had now reached the final Pokemon. The toughest of them all, Evi's Team Star Bossmobile. This one is particularly strong in that it knows the setup move Shift Gear. So first things first was to try and weaken its attack before it could threaten to sweep. We switched into Blub Blub to Intimidate, only for Evi to Shift Gear straight away. So I switched into Gigi to get another one off, only for Evi to land a terrifying critical hit, forcing me to switch out again to Blub Blub as Gigi had been put out of commission for this battle. That's when Evi used Spin Out though, which gave me the perfect opportunity to strike back. I set up a Dragon Dance and Rain Dance and began to deal massive damage with Waterfall, but while doing that, Evi had now set up Shift Gear to the point that she was on +2 attack and +4 speed. That meant that she was guaranteed to outspeed Blub Blub now, and any attack from this range had the potential to flatten him. No, not now, not after we remained deathless for so long. I had to make a call. Our definitely not scary man hit the field and I prayed for a combat talk not to hit me. But instead, Evi chose to use Shift Gear again. That meant I could have finished the job with Blub Blub, but she read me like a book to predict my switch. And now, I had no choice. I had to attack, and hope I survived just one more hit to keep my deathless run alive.
Oh, come on, man, you can do this. Just survive one. Just survive one. Just survive one. Oh, yes! Yeah, he tanks it! He tanks it like that. That's our guy! And a close combat wins us it! Let's go! That's every badge! Every badge is ours and every is gone!
That was one of the deadliest moments of the run so far, but we made it through! Man is the boy who lived! And that is now 18 out of 18 badges collected, and 0 deaths. Oh yeah, we are still going strong. Now only the Elite Four remain between us and immortality. But there was still a twist in the tale. Before we get to that though, I had one more shiny left to catch before the Elite Four. And also, 2 shiny Pokemon types still to tick off my list. Had I left myself in a sticky situation? Yes I had. But perhaps this wasn't the final shiny we'd end up catching. Foreshadowing. But for now, while needing an Ice type or a Bug type, the wheel gifted us a Dragon type. I was pretty concerned by that until I realized there was one beautiful new Dragon type that could save me here, Kyurem. But Kyurem isn't in this game, so I guess I'll instead have to settle for Friggabacks. I mean, hey, they're basically the same thing, right? Either way, the run was still on, boys. Oh, hey, that's so obvious in the end. Look at this guy. He's so easy to spot when I'm not in the middle of a snowstorm. So there you have it. 18 bosses beaten, 17 out of 18 shiny Pokemon types found, and now I just had to build a team capable enough of guiding me through the entire Elite Four, deathless. Piece of cake. Or maybe not. Like I said, there was one final twist in this tale, because I wasn't deciding my team for the Elite Four, the Wheel of Fate was. That's right, I put every last one of our shiny Pokemon onto this wheel, span their little heads off, and I'd have to grind out a hardcore Nuzlocke win with whoever the wheel decided to throw in my direction.
King Gambit! King Gambit's our first! That's a huge start. Oh, Hubba returns.
Hey, and Sinistra! Oh, it's a great start!
Is it this time? Momo! Hey, I mean, electric resistance, that's great. 2 left, we got Annihilate! Man! And who's our final one gonna be? Oh, no way! Gus!
It was honestly so poetic that the final Pokemon selected by the wheel was my starter. And now, that was that. This was our team for the rest of the run. I trained up, optimized, and strategized these brave warriors and was now locked in. And after playing some psychological mind games with Rika...
Yes I do. You can't trick me, Rika. This is my house now.
We entered the home straight. Boy, I hope you're ready for this. I felt a hot cup of tea was the perfect answer for Rika's ground types, and a quick Calm Mind and Matchagotcha comfortably dealt with Whiscash. So much so that I was even able to stay in and 2-shot the Canerupt with a Shadow Ball. After that though, Mocha got a little... eepy. So I had to switch out. But as Gus and Gus entered the chat, Doug Trio hit us with a Darude Sandstorm. And these guys think that song is an absolute banger, so they continue to encore it into a useless move, had a rave with Doug Trio while using Tidy Up to maximize their speed and attack stats, and then bullet seeded away until Doug Trio and the rest of Rika's Pokemon died. Sweet, 10 out of 10, best concert I've ever been to. As for Poppy, Paldea's preschool child labour victim, I led with Momo because from early on in the Nuzlocke I knew how fragile Copperaja was. so I could comfortably one-shot and remove one threat straight away. And then, Poppy made the most critical mistake of her short little life, because she had the absolute audacity to send out a Bronzong. Oh yeah, today I became a killer. Switching into Mocha Mocha, I made sure to cripple this pathetic waste of space all the way down to -6 attack with Strength Sap, before sending out Sickle Sickle for the very first time. And I laughed right in the face of this cocky little runt as I set up to maximum defense with Iron Defense and maximum attack using Swords Dance, at which point a super effective Earthquake was only doing 4 damage to me. And I took great pleasure in this overkill setup as I full on murdered this time-wasting loser with Koto Cleave. I had done it. Bronzong had completely been wiped from existence, and I couldn't be happier. And yeah, that's kind of all I want to talk about this fight, because as you can imagine, from there it was a walkover. And that, Poppy, is what we call a life lesson. So on to the third Elite Four member, as Larry returned to drop his normal types for some flying types. But Gus took great offense to that, so as much as we all love our absolute icon Larry, yet another lesson had to be taught. We did this by utilizing Gardevoir's ability, Trace. If you've ever faced Larry in the Elite Four, as I imagine you all have, you'll know that on turn 1 he always sets up the sun to activate Tropius' ability Chlorophyll and double his speed. But thanks to Hubba Hubba tracing that same ability, Larry now gave me a very fast, calm-minded Gardevoir turn 1. And against a Pokemon who only knew special attacking moves, do you see where this is going? Yep, we set up to +6 special attack and special defense, let Tropius set up the sun again to keep us speedy, and outsped and one-shot the rest of his team with Draining Kiss and Icy Wind. Sorry, Larry. I do still love you, I promise. And just like that, only one Elite Four member remained. Hassel, the Dragon Tamer. But unlike his fellow comrades, he was truly in a different bracket. Noivern is so fast and so hard-hitting that I just had to get rid of it as soon as possible. And luckily an Ice Punch from Man did the job right away. Then Hassel sent out another Pokemon who was 4 times weak to Ice in Flapple, letting us grab 2 knockouts in the first 2 turns. Perfect start. However, as Dragouge came in, the same strategy did not work in my favour, as although we 2-shot it, we triggered its Poison Point ability, meaning that to keep Man alive, I now had to switch out, as Hassel threw out a Haxorus. And the main problem with that was I didn't have a safe switch in. Ironically, unlike most of the game before the Elite Four, I now had no Intimidate users on my team to help me through situations like this, so I really had to get inventive. I switched into Mocha Mocha to take a hit before, hopefully, baiting out a Crunch next turn, at which point I pivoted straight into Sickle Sickle. But then, Haxorus got a defense drop. Oh no, not defense. Wait, Defiant. Oh my god, I forgot about Defiant. Yes, that works amazing for us. Defiant raising my attack by 2 stages let me attempt an Iron Head, but it just wasn't enough as Haxorus hung on by a thread. However, instead of finishing it off there and then, I took the opportunity to prepare for his ace Baxcalibur. I switched in Hubba Hubba to try and set up Reflect as I would need all the physical defense I could get. And then Haxorus used Iron Head. Oh! Oh! Hubba Hubba! Oh, Hubba Hubba Hubba! Oh boy. Oh, I should have seen that coming. Oh no. Oh, this is too stressful. This is too stressful. So I cut my losses there and switched into Momo to resist the second Iron Head, and Volt switched out to finish Haxorus off the next turn, ensuring that I could at least have the Pokemon of my choice on the field when Baxcalibur came out. And that chosen Pokemon was Gus, and Gus. The only chance I had against a terrestrialized Glaive Rush Baxcalibur was to weaken its attack. So that's what I did. I charmed Baxcalibur down to -2 attack, but Glaive Rush still did huge damage. And now, I had a massive decision to make. Do I stay in and charm Baxcalibur down to -4 attack, but potentially lose my starter Pokemon? Or do I switch out and potentially lose someone else if they can't outspeed in one shot? I stayed on this screen for, no word of a lie, 5 minutes straight trying to make that call. But in the end, I put my faith entirely in my starter. Come on guys, it's all on you. Let's get that attack drop. Just survive one. Just survive one. Here it comes. Glaive Rush. Can we take the hit? Yes! Gus! Yes! Oh, I was so ready to lose you! Yes! This is the run! With their mission complete, I dragged Mousehold out of there as quickly as possible. Sickle Sickle was then free to come in, resist an Ice Core Crash, and even though Baxcalibur now had a 4 times effective Brick Break, at -4 attack it wasn't a threat. So 2 Koto Cleaves later, we had done it. The Elite Four complete without a single Pokemon lost along the way. It was an emotional moment, even Hassel agreed. But there was no time for tears because we had to move straight on to the final battle. The fight that would get us the rank of champion. And only a pompous little politician stood in my way. Our brave little starters kicked things off by landing a Thunder Wave on Gita's Espartha, before dealing 50% with a U-turn to let us get Hubba Hubba on the field. Oh god, that still sounds so weird to say. And as we both set up Reflects, I switched back into Maushold twice more to U-turn, waste Geeta's remaining turns of Reflect, and finish off her lead Pokemon right as it disappeared from the field. Man then followed up by two-shotting her Go-Go with Ice Punch before Geeta stupidly sent out King Gambit, who we could simply sweep aside with a Terra-boosted, 4 times effective close combat. From there though, I got a little confident, as I attempted to one-shot the incoming Veluza with Rage Fist, only to fail miserably and almost get wiped out by a simple Psycho Cut. Oh god, oh my god, I forgot he was a Psychic type. Why am I an idiot? Don't do this now. I cannot lose a Pokemon to Geeta. So Mocha had to clean things up with a couple of Strength Saps, which incidentally opened up the perfect opportunity for victory. With Veluza's lowered attack, I switched in Sickle and set up Iron Defenses, raising my defense by 2 stages every turn. But at the same time, Veluza hit me with Liquidation to lower it again by 1 stage. And with that, Geeta had sealed her fate. Defiant activated twice to raise my attack until I was sat at +4 attack, +4 defense, and full HP thanks to leftover recovery before we murdered the Veluza with Iron Head, Arvalug with Iron Head, Glamora with, you guessed it, Iron Head, until, hey look, I'm champion now! Yeah, that was pretty easy in the end, huh? Even with a team put together completely at random by a wheel, I had made it through the entire game, Elite Four, and champion, deathless. I can't believe it, guys. Like, this is just not right. The champion was, well, it was so easy. How can you call yourself a champion, Geeta? You're pathetic. Honestly, you're... Oh, right. Yeah, she isn't the champion, is she? Because she's been bested once before, which means that the true champion and final boss of our hardcore Nuzlocke is actually none other than Nemona. We still had 1 battle left. But as that was now another boss fight beaten, I had 1 more shiny I was allowed to catch. And I still needed that bug type to finish my typing challenge. Otherwise, why did I bother? What a waste of time it was for me to create all those animations. So with 1 final spin, my fate lay in the hands of the wheel for the very last time this Nuzlocke. I needed that bug type to appear so badly, but in the end, we were given a Psychic type. Oh no, oh no. Does that exist? I thought it was over. But not for the first time this run, I was saved by a new Gen 9 Pokemon, Rabsca. This Pokemon is literally one of 2 Psychic bug types in the entire Pokemon franchise. And although it can't directly be found in the wild, its pre-evolution Relor can. So I fudged the books a little and hunted down the final golden shiny of our Nuzlocke. Oh, it spawned in! I think that's it! Yes! Our final shiny! Look at him, rolling about. Ah, the little guy! Relor! Oh, I can't believe we're finally here. Over 150 hours later and we've finally done it! Yes! Welcome to the squad, Moto. And that is a wrap on the shiny Pokemon. The hunts are complete. Our beautiful shiny Moto had saved our run. It was all coming together. I had caught 20 shinies without any herba mystica. I had collected a shiny of every Pokemon type in the game. I had beaten the entire game, Elite Four, and champion without a single death. Now all that was left was 1 rival fight. To not just win my first ever Nuzlocke, but to do it deathless. This was it. Everything was on the line. Alright Nemona, let's do this. First up was Mocha versus Nemona's Lycanroc, with the plan to Strength Sap her down and eventually KO with Machagotcha. But turn 1 gave me a taste for what I might be in store for this battle. That's a crit, are you joking? You turn 1 crit me? Is that critical hit scripted? I'm sure I always get crit there, so please let me know in the comments. But either way, I quickly got revenge. Oh, I crit you back! We can both play this game, Nemona! We can both play it! Goodra, okay. Why did I teach my Mocha Memento? It faints. It literally faints. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Being afraid of Goodra's Ice Beam, I protected Mocha by switching into Hubba and attempted to set up a light screen to protect against Goodra's special attacks. But I didn't realize it would have Sludge Bomb. That's a Sludge Bomb. I forgot it had a super effective move. Oh my god. And it gets the poison. You're kidding. No. Oh, that's so bad for me. And I don't even outspeed. So Hubba didn't last long. Again, and I had to switch once more. But now our starter had fire in their bellies and felt like going in hard with a loaded dice boosted population bomb. Crit! Let's go! Gus, and Gus! 9 times! Oh, that move is broken. I then played slightly risky with Nemona's Pawmot by sending in Mocha, as although her fighter type moves had no effect on me, Ice Punch dealt
big damage. But it was worth it in the end as I could heal up with Strength Sap and eventually finish it off with Machagotcha before also comfortably taking out the Dunsparce with some help from a burn and another critical hit.
There we go, there's a crit. 2 left, guys, 2 left.
So, with Orthworm being Nemona's only remaining physical attacker, I stayed in to use my remaining Strength Saps and tried to plan ahead for her ace. I wanted to save Man-Man out of Annihilate for this, as, honestly, my team had no clear answer for Skeledirge. So I made another risky switch by throwing out Momo against a Pokemon who knew Ground-type moves. But luckily Orthworm went for Iron Tail instead, and that let me finish it off the next turn with a close combat. So this was it. One final play, and one final Pokemon to beat, to finish the game without a single Pokemon lost along the way. It really was the moment of truth.
Okay, we know she's terrestrializing, but here's the play. Skeledirge terrestrializes, but we Volt Switch out, predicting an Earth Power, and for that reason we switch in Gus. Do me a solid. Earth Power. No! No! Why did you get a crit? Oh, my plan's in tatters. My plan's not good. My plan is ruined. I was gonna encore it into Earth Power and switch into my Air Balloon Sickle and try and finish it off. Oh, God. Oh, this is bad. It's going to go for a Torch Song here. So I think I have to go into Man-Man. It's my only option. Can I U-turn out first? I can get a bit of chip damage off with U-turn, right? And then I go into Man-Man. That might... I need every bit of damage I can take. Come on. There it is. How much does it do? Come on, Man-Man. Please say I've trained you well. Oh, God, that's a lot of damage. That is more... Oh, that's too much damage. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. I've got to do it. I've got to risk it all. It all comes down to this for the Deathless Run. Come on, Man-Man. You can do it. I believe we can outspeed. Terrestrialize close combat from an Annihilate. Come on. Yes, we outspeed. No! No! You're kidding me! No! Wait. No! Oh, you're joking! No!
It's true what they say, not all stories have a happy ending. And as Momo finished off Skeledirge with a double shock, even though I had now beaten my first ever Nuzlocke, it felt like a defeat. After investing 170 hours of my life into this, 1 health point turned out to be the difference between a deathless run and crushing disappointment. Oh well, maybe next time, right guys? These opportunities come all the time, right? I'm sure you'll let me know the obvious misplays I made and how I choked in the final battle, but what challenge do you want to see me take on next? I've already got a bunch of fun ideas I want to get to you guys, so please make sure to subscribe so you catch the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, rest in peace to my only loss of the Nuzlocke, Man-Man.
The boy who lived has come to die.